I'm not allowed to not feel aligned with this because this is supporting a lifestyle that we've become accustomed to.
And I had to do a lot of work around that, Cheryl. A lot of work around really what do I want? What's my next definition of success? How much money do I actually
Mhm.
really need at this stage? Can this coaching business supplement that income as it grows? Why is my identity tied up in this number, right? All of the things.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Medeiros.
And I'm Colleen Hungerford, and this is the Inspire Her Collective Podcast. Podcast and community for the whole woman, mind, body, soul, and business.
It's humor infused, as real as it gets, inspiring, and you'll walk away with real, usable tools for life and business.
If you love what you're hearing, please share with a friend, subscribe so you never miss an episode, and rate and review wherever you listen.
And if you find yourself wanting more inspiration and authenticity, visit our website to learn how to join our nationwide community. Let's dig in.
Yeah, sure. What did it say?
It said you're consenting to recording.
Oh, look at us being so
Good. Thank you for
Thank you
consenting.
so much for being here and thank you for consenting. Welcome to the Inspire Her Collective podcast and community. First time actually saying
Yes.
that.
First time official pivot
Ooh,
from what we were doing before to now, which is essentially the
Same
same
shit,
thing, but
different
like a little bit
day.
more refined.
I love
Well,
this.
yeah,
Streamline.
a little bit more cohesive, a little bit more refined, a little bit more
Exactly.
streamlined.
Love it.
So, making life a little bit easier for us in general, for ourselves and for the people that work for us and for everything involved. So we are now, say it again,
The
Cheryl.
Inspire Her Collective podcast and community. Welcome. And we'd like you to remind you,
So good in your
thank
sexy
you, we're doing
voice.
this right? Because we're still always going to keep that
Yeah, that's our
as our
tagline.
tagline because it seems so
Yeah.
us. Okay, guys, we're not alone. We always do this to our poor guests where we just banter along. But
I
Elizabeth
know.
Convery is back. Repeat guest. Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Elizabeth.
Okay, but tell
Oh,
everybody
yeah,
who she
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Elizabeth is a real estate coach, mentor, Navy wife, mom of two littles, and associate broker at Compass Real Estate in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She is passionate about showing women that they can design the life of their dreams and that women are stronger together than apart. She has spent 20 years in the real estate industry and is devoting her 40s to helping more women build a foundation for success in real estate through her coaching company, Elizabeth Convery LLC, and her signature program, The Confident Agent, a foundation and success for women in real estate. Thanks for all you're doing for the world.
Thanks for having me. I love being with the two of you.
We love having
Really looking forward to this. I feel like there's just such an amazing energy. And we
I
all
woke
need,
up feeling full of energy today, and then I opened my calendar and saw who we were recording with, and I got even more hyped.
and you texted me and I was like, "Yes, let's go."
I
Yay!
can't wait to hang today.
I want to say something. I want to say something about that energy because I have found as I have gotten older, maybe I'm either less tolerant or more empathetic or something, but like if someone doesn't match my energy for the most part, like I can be empathetic to
Bad day.
situations or whatever. I I am not interested in them. Like, and it really affects me now. Like if somebody is like, and we'll talk about this because we talked a pre-show a lot about pivoting, which is why we kind of threw that in there in the beginning, and teams and this and that. But like when you're with somebody and their energy is not aligned with yours, I don't want to say matched because it doesn't have to be matched, but it has to be like aligned. It really sucks the life
Mhm.
out of me, I find. And anyway, we were talking pre-show. I had to make some changes on my team because of lack of alignment and fit, which is a really interesting thing. But I want to chat. We want to chat with you kind of about this new pivot you
Yeah.
are making or
I
have
want to say
made.
one thing on energy. I think that probably, Colleen, like we knew in the early stage of our career that the energy wasn't matched, but perhaps we didn't have the confidence, at least speaking from my own experience, to call that out, to say no to that business, to
Yeah.
step into different rooms. And I think part of growth is that you have to surround yourself with people who are doing what you're doing or more, right? Because it makes such an enormous difference. And as we all build our businesses, right? We build our businesses, and time is a finite resource. We all have the same number of hours in the day. We have to be more selective in how we're spending that time and energy. And I feel that I am like really
Agree.
have come into that in the last few years.
I think too, there's a just a
Mhm.
tolerance level. Like when you're first starting out or new to something or whatever, and that energy doesn't match or
Mhm.
doesn't feel like right the same fit. Sometimes, and I mean, this is a confidence thing. You're like, well, maybe it's me
Yep.
and I should adjust, or I should just tolerate it, or whatever. And I think now, for me, not speaking for Cheryl or anybody else, but for me, I'm just like not interested. That's like my
Yeah.
favorite phrase. It's just like I'm just not interested in that drama. I'm not interested in pouring into somebody more than they're willing to pour
Yeah.
into themselves. I'm not interested in fighting with somebody just for the purpose of fighting. Like
Mhm.
I'm just so not interested not
Yeah.
interested in that.
I made
Exactly.
my words of the year. I have alignment and deliberate are 2 of them, and then magnetic. And as I'm like moving through the
Mm.
year, identifying like, "Oh, this doesn't feel aligned," and I need to deliberately remove that. And like, I feel like almost for the last 3 or 4 months, like since beginning of the year, almost like a fraud because these were the words, this is what I wanted. And then I finally just like last week was ready to just step in and own that and be deliberate with making sure my shit is aligned.
So how are you being more aligned right now, Elizabeth? Talk to us about
Having
your
more
changing of your
aligned.
alignment.
Well, I feel like I flipped my entire career on its head in the last 3 years, particularly in the last, like, 6
Yeah.
months. In my bio, Cheryl, thank you for that, you shared that I decided to devote my 40s to coaching, and the word is impact. My husband's in the Navy, and I had built
Mm,
this large real estate practice in Philadelphia. And as we know, real estate is very geographically focused. And what we also know about the Navy is
yeah.
that you're very transient. So, about 3 years ago,
Mhm.
our life took us outside of Philadelphia, and we moved as a family to Norfolk, Virginia, and then on to DC. And I was turning 40 that year. I had just had our second child, Catherine, like 2 months before my 40th birthday.
It's
And
superhuman shit right there.
she's yes, crazy. So my whole life was really shifting, and I my team was amazing. They were really leaning into to selling my book of business. But I thought, how can I stay
Mm,
relevant in this industry without growing my team more? And so that's what led me into
Right.
coaching, right? So I built my coaching practice, Elizabeth Convery LLC, and my signature program, The Confident Agent, with which helps women who are early career lay a foundation for six-figure success. And I built this really as a side project. And it was something that I thought, you know what, I'm going to give back. And I really want to help more women stay in the industry. I think it's a travesty that 87% of people fail in the first 3 years, according to NAR. How can we change this? Well, my side project became my passion. And last summer, I sort of had this reckoning. We had moved back to Philadelphia, which is where we're from originally. My husband's retiring from the Navy. We've come full circle. We're back like in our home. And I thought, what do I really want to
mm.
do now? And what I realized, I had signed up at that time, I think it was like my 40th coaching client. And I thought, I think this is the lane I want to be in. But in order to be in this
Mm.
lane, and still be a present mother and still, feel fulfilled in my career, something had to give. And so I pulled myself out of team leadership after 12 years as a team lead. At our peak, we were a $70 million team. We were having a phenomenal year. My accountant was like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you doing?" And I said, "You talk about alignment." I'm like, "This is not getting me out of bed anymore." And maybe when I think about it, it hasn't really been a passion for mine for some time. and I just didn't see it because I was doing so many other things. And so I
It's
went
easy to be
to
blinded by that income, truthfully. Like,
sure
like,
can.
how do I walk away from this? I'm not allowed to not feel aligned with this because this is supporting a lifestyle that we've become accustomed to.
And I had to do a lot of work around that, Cheryl. A lot of work around really what do I want? What's my next definition of success? How much money do I actually
Hmm.
really need at this stage? Can this coaching business supplement that income as it grows? Why is my identity tied up in this number, right? All of the things we
Oh
all can
man.
do. And what I realized was that we don't assign a value to our happiness in a way that we ought to.
Mm.
We're constantly assigning our value to our GCI, to our sales volume. But what is the value of being able to do a mommy and me ballet class with my daughter on a Wednesday morning? What is the value of being able to say yes to showing up on the T-ball field at 4 in the afternoon? What is the value of being able to get up and travel on a whim? And we
That's all very valuable to me,
like
by the way. I want that's like my
totally, but
dream.
in order to do that, you have to give up selling a house, right? You have to give up leading a team, not necessarily leading a team, but you have there's opportunity cost to everything.
Something's got to give.
And so this was a extremely hard decision because I had built this team that I loved. I mean, I love every single person on it, and I had been doing it for so many years. And I was an excellent leader. And I can say that with confidence
Mm.
because I worked so hard to become one. I was horrible when I started.
Yeah.
Um, and I thought, oh gosh, I'm really going to step out of my comfort zone here. But is there a way that I can do
Mm.
this so that I feel protected and safe and ready to take a leap, but also so that my team is protected and safe and ready to take a leap?
I mean, that's a
Yeah.
big
Go
deal.
ahead. I'll
Go
stop
ahead.
because I'm talking
Go
a
ahead.
lot. I'm
No,
sure you have
I
a
was
ton
just
of
going to say,
questions
like,
about this.
no, no, no. No, I mean, I think part of the personality of the people who get into real estate and then become, high producers or whatever is we do find our value in our production, right? That is what you do. And quite honestly, that is also how we judge ourselves or our peers, right? Like if you're if you only sell $5 million a year or something like that, most people are like, do you even sell a house? Like, what are you
It's a
doing?
hobby.
Or they're not a good producer, or this a hobby? Are you part time, or whatever? You're not taking this seriously, but I think there's so much value to what you're saying. Is like and we talk about this quite a bit. Like, how are we defining success, and what does success look like? And I had a really similar realization the other day when, like, I think I talked about it maybe here or maybe on my Instagram. Like, I I kept missing stuff at my
Mm.
kids' school, and I was like, why am I like that is the priority. That's why I do this job and versus a corporate job is so that I can go to walk-in Wednesday, right? We did talk about this. But I think we start to lose the plot a little bit the deeper we get into this game, and then you start being responsible for other people, and it's hard. I mean, it's a big mental shift to even the words I want to say is like give up that income, give up that leadership role. But like, are you giving it up? No. I mean, like you're gaining so much something else in place of that. And it's so God, I love having these conversations, especially with you, Elizabeth. It's so refreshing to hear other women in leadership in real estate really saying, like, yeah, man, you can just change your mind.
You
And you can
can.
just decide that you want to do something else, right? Like you're not beholden to the I have to be this team lead. I have to run this $70 million team. I said I was gonna do this and now I've been doing it for so long. How do I quit? What's everybody gonna think? Blah 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 blah. But you can just change your mind.
I went to the Women of Compass event last summer in Boise, and my biggest takeaway from it, from all these high producing women that have been doing it forever, was like, I wish I hadn't built a team. I wish I would have just hired people like assistants and VAs
Hmm.
and all of this, like, and just like done it my way and just kind of been the boss. And like, that was very eye opening to me to hear that, and like very motivational in a way of like, just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to make the decisions based on what I want and what's good for me and my family and my
Yes.
life at any given moment, and not have to factor in other people and call that selfish, or call that I'm running
Yeah.
a fucking family of 5
Mhm.
already, running a household, supporting my clients. Like, I don't need one more person to have to worry about their input and how a decision I make may affect them, or like, did they like this email written in the exact way that I wrote it? Like,
Well, I'll
just
say two things. You can
It
absolutely change your mind. And this is a business where you can always make money. And there's always to be made.
yes.
And so that's I think part B of that, that there's always more money to be made, is something that we forget.
Oh, hey, Cheryl.
Oh, hey, Colleen.
Question for you. You and I have created this really awesome community of women nationally. They're amazing. Like, honestly, the best listeners, community members, people, i- women in the country. We have 4 men, maybe. If I were a business, large or small, and I wanted to also capture that amazing community and let them know about what I do, how might I do that?
We have ad sponsorship availability options, and you can just navigate to our website, theinspirehercollective.com, and find the section of our website where you can apply to be a sponsor or have an ad on the podcast.
Do I have to be a big corporate company in order to do that?
No, we have all levels of sponsorships available.
And if I am a big corporate company, can I also do that?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Please
Please,
do. Please do.
absolutely do that.
Amazing.
It's not a corporate
Hmm.
job where your ceiling is capped and here you are. It's like, okay, well, can we shift
Yeah.
this way? Can we do this? Can we sell one more house? Whatever it might be.
and we
Um,
charge more
if
commission.
you
Can we?
charge more. Exactly. And
Yep.
if you start to see it that way, it makes that like loss of income not really a loss. It's just a shift.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I was telling you guys before, I had to let somebody go off my team this past last week. And it
So
was
sorry.
really like something that had been kind of sitting with me for a long time. And I knew it. And it's funny, our our bestie Susie says, like, right
Hmm.
away, right? Right away. 90 days, And I knew. And for whatever reason, I didn't listen to
Or
Susie.
Or
yourself.
your
She's gonna
gut.
listen to this going, what the fuck? Or myself. And I was just like, there was that part of me that was like, okay, well, if I just give this person a little bit more time, if I just help this person a little bit more, like, we'll get there. Or they started producing a little bit. And so I was like, well, maybe it's not so bad. And it's that conversation of like, well, they're producing. So should I just, but literally, because I'm not really like I'm analytical, but I'm not like an analytical person. Like for me, I was like, I don't know how to explain, but the vibes are off. That was
Energy
my
is not.
feeling. But the energy was not there. But I sat down with my husband and we kind of did the numbers. And he's like, how much are you quote unquote making from this person producing? And when we looked at those numbers, I was like, oh man, the amount of time, energy, and effort that I'm pouring into this person, I could make three
Yep.
times that by selling
And
one
be
house.
happier.
Right.
Hmm.
Like, and be happier. And it was a tough decision. And I said to this person, I was like, I do think you are going to be successful. I said, but I don't think you and I together are going to get you to where you need to go.
Yep.
And it was not about like, and I said to them, like, you could do real estate a lot of different ways, but when you're on a team, you agree to do it the way the
That's right.
team does it. And if that's not, and clearly then this is not like working, right? But it doesn't mean you won't be successful in real estate. So it was a very challenging. I've had to have this
Hmm.
conversation twice now. And to your point, like I thought, and Cheryl, like you said this too, like I thought I like building a team was going to be the best. It was going to be awesome. And in last year in 2025, I spent a lot of time and money building my team, doing all the things we're supposed to do, getting the office space, paying for the marketing, paying for their transaction coordinators, paying for in my time the time to spend with them and setting up office hours and doing this stuff. It was not it. And it was not it. And I had to kind of like take a moment back, similar to what you're doing now, Elizabeth, and say like, okay, well, what do I really want to do? I love my agent Nicole. She's fantastic. She's the right fit for me. And maybe it's okay if my team is just a small 3-person team, not a 6-person, 10-person team, you know? But I think we do get caught up in the this is what we're supposed to do kind of early on in our careers.
I was waiting for us to talk over each other again.
I know. I think we all were.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna stop talking because I'm much.
No, none of us can talk too much. That's why we're here. So
Yeah.
I'm in a book club with my dear friend Elizabeth Convery that she runs through the coaching program, and we're reading right now Give
Oh my
and
God.
Take. And I'm by reading, I'm listening while I was on my walk this
Oh,
morning. Colleen, I was thinking a lot about you, but just like kind of listening
ooh,
to
I like that.
that, and I'd love to little book club with you right now about it. Have you finished it, Elizabeth?
Yesterday. Yes.
Oh, good.
Finished
I still have
yesterday.
6 hours left to get through before tomorrow, but
Are
I
you
was
listening?
really,
You're listening to the Audible?
yeah.
Okay, I was too, and I'm going to give you a little trick. I put it on 1.5
Oh,
speed, which
that's what I'm
normally I
listening at.
can't because my brain doesn't compute that way, but the narrator of this particular audiobook is so slow.
Mhm.
So if you're
Yeah,
usually
I'm
at
at
1.5, or
1.5.
maybe you need to pump it up a little more.
Yeah, I might need to pick it up. But I went on a walk this morning and I was listening to it, and I love Adam Grant. He's like
Mhm.
Adam Grant's up there with Dan Sullivan for me. I just like idolize.
Yes, and he's a Philly
And
Yeah.
guy, so I appreciate
is
that
he?
too. Yes, he
Oh,
works
you Philly people are so
Cool.
Philly proud. I
so
love that.
Philly proud. I know I should be wearing like a Phillies hat right now for this.
Everybody I know from there is just like, I'm from Philly. It's
Philly.
great. But just so interesting listening to the perspective on like the givers and the takers. And I think that as givers, it's not unusual to find that we've put ourselves in positions of coaching and mentoring and like then
Hmm.
having to get back to this place of like, okay, maybe I can't give quite so much. Like I liked the idea of the 5 minute favor. Like if you could do a favor for somebody in 5 minutes, great. But
Mhm.
it's when it gets to this, like I've put months and months and months and I'm carving out time in my calendar and I'm giving and giving and giving. And
Mhm.
like to your point, Colleen, there's not even like the work being done behind the scenes to like warrant the giving to like match and
Yeah.
not, I'm not a matcher. So there's givers, takers, and matchers. I'm not a matcher, I'm a giver. But also if I'm giving you all of this by God, please join me here in this
Mhm.
endeavor. Like, this is all for
Yeah.
you.
Well, he talks about in
It
the
is
book.
that similar
Oh, sorry,
idea
go
of
ahead.
like,
Say we did it again.
no, go ahead. Well, I was just going to say it's that similar idea of like, the energy matching, the
Mhm.
energy thing, right? Like, I have a hard time. I want to help people. Maybe I'm clearly a giver in this situation. Like, I want to help people. I can see what they can do. I'm very good at seeing somebody and being like, you are going to really kill it. Or you're going to need, you can do this or blah, blah, blah. But and then I get kind of disappointed in people when they don't live up to this standard that I've created in my head for them, like, which is very unfair. But it's kind of like if my energy is high and I'm high energy, and you want to ride with me, then that's how we're riding. Then we're in the car at 95 miles an hour. And if you're not, that's okay. But like get out because I am not slowing down. And maybe that's rude and maybe that's mean, but I just feel like it's so hard to slow down when you're moving really quickly. And it is that alignment thing always of like, I can't care more about how successful I think you can be if you're not willing to do the work to get over whatever barriers you have that are preventing you from getting to that place.
That's exactly right. I always say I can't want it more than you do. And when I came to
Yeah.
that realization as a team lead, it made it a lot easier to know where to put my energy, right? Because not
Mm.
everybody wants it to the same degree. And as a giver, Adam Grant talks in the book that you can find yourself burnt out really quickly if you're giving, 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 and you're giving more and more and more, and you're not seeing sort of the fruit. And I found myself in places like that over my career where, you know, the
Mm.
frustration
Yeah.
comes, especially when you're a team lead, you have this level of ambition and you can do it. So you expect everybody else to do it too. And it's like, well, not everybody else is going to do it on the same level that you are, right? And you can get
Yeah.
yourself into
Yeah.
some trouble if you're investing so much time, so much energy, and the push and pull is not there.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's exactly it. And then, at least I know from my end, there becomes this like level of
Mhm,
resentment where you're like,
mhm.
why am I doing so much for you, but you're not doing so much for yourself,
And the resentment
or
perpetuates the
whatever.
burnout because then you're like, even when you're not in it,
Yes.
you're having the feelings that are so stressful and
Yeah.
like anxiety producing, and like, something needs to be done, and you're just like living in this discomfort, and then you're just getting more tired. And
Mhm.
like, we're fucking tired enough.
Yeah.
Well, and I have to say, I think that the shift into coaching has been
How is that? I feel like that would be
no,
frustrating,
actually
very
not, because
honestly.
here's why. People
Okay.
are coming to you ready to work. If they're
Mm.
hiring a coach and they're
Yeah.
spending their own money to build their business, they want it as much as you
Yeah.
do, right? And so all of a
Okay,
sudden, like
good.
your
I love that.
energies are better matched because it's like, okay, I'm the giver and I
Hmm.
can get you to where you need to go, but you're ready to do the work to get there too. And it really has helped me shift a lot of my own energy into the lane that I want it to be in. And it's helped me to invest in others for that impact that I want to see.
Mm,
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I think it's a little bit tricky. I was thinking about this, like, sorry, my phone is ringing. Sorry, guys.
What are you, a
Um,
realtor?
this kind of, I,
Can't get through an
Classic
hour.
realtor. Our phones are
yeah,
always
I'm a real,
going, right? I'm like, here we go.
yeah, it's so annoying. And then all the spam calls
Zing. Yep.
also. But I think this, as I continue to grow in my leadership and in leading in this way, and as a team lead, one of the things that was really, I guess, humbling for me, or one of the things that I really realized, is I thought I could teach anybody.
Mhm.
Right? Like, I thought I could teach anybody how to sell real estate. Why? It was very easy for me to pick it up. I could teach you how to do that. And I really realized that I cannot. And I think that again is the alignment situation, right? And I cannot teach. I can teach people who have certain attributes or who have certain drive to do similar things that I have done, but I can't teach everybody. And that for me was kind of like, that was the moment where I was like, okay, this is really it. Like, this is where we need to like part ways, because I'm trying so hard and it's not
Yeah,
clicking,
because you want it
you
more
know?
than that
And you're
person
like,
did.
yeah, for sure. For, yeah. Listen, I think that's like my toxic trait. That's like my toxic trait. I always want everybody to be better because I know they can. And then I get disappointed when they're not. You know, like,
Then you
that's
burn
my
your own
fault.
self
And
out,
that's about me. That's
and you
not them.
can't, then you're tired, and
Yeah.
you don't get to perform as well because you've spun your wheels trying to help this other person rise to the occasion.
Mhm.
Yeah. But there is some power. And Elizabeth, I want to go back to what your pivot, but I think there is some power in making those tough decisions, and doing the pivoting and changing even when it feels uncomfortable.
There's so much power in that,
So
Colleen. There's first of all, it's terrifying. I mean, if I got on this podcast and was like, "Oh, it's easy. Give up 12 years of your work to go and find new success elsewhere in a business that's like sort of proven, but not fully proven," I would be lying to you, right? But there becomes
yeah.
this moment where you're like, "Okay, I always say history leaves a pattern."
That's it for this week. Come back next week for part 2.
That's a wrap. Thank you for joining us on this journey of laughter, life, and growth. Please remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you found value in today's conversation, we'd be thrilled if you would leave us a review on your favorite platform. Your feedback means the world to us.
And don't forget to share this podcast with your friends, family, and anyone who could use a good laugh and some practical insight into navigating the challenges and triumphs of our minds, body, soul, and business. And remember, you're not alone on this path to success. We're right here with you every step of the way.
Remember, we're doing this right.
Right?